Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Rest Round Bets, episode 5. And this week, we actually have a ton of bets to bet on, whether you want to go PFL, Bellator, UFC, work your way up. Actually, a good week of fighting. And for a card that lost its main event, which was supposed to be Sandhagen versus Dillashaw, which, fuck, man, that I don't even
Oh,
know how to
hang
speak about
on.
it.
I think we might be on different pages here. The quality of the card is still shit.
No, hard disagree. I looked over the card. I'm just like, I want to watch this card.
Oh,
Like,
there's like two or three that I actually like
I was
want to watch. The heavy hitters are gone.
I
That
the
said,
heavy hitters are
gambling
gone.
very interesting.
I literally was like very surprised. Think I was automatically assuming I'm like, oh, main event out of the way. There can't be anything good. But then I was looking and okay, so Rodriguez Waterson, I'm interested. Cerrone Morono, yes. Magny Neil, yes. Ferreira, Gillespie, banger. Rebaz Hill, banger. Phil Hawes is on this. Wait, did they take him off? Yeah, Phil Hawes is on this card. Like, this was going to be a slapper. Now I think it just turns into like just a good solid card, but it is a weak main event though. I will say that. But it's not pay-per-view. I think if you don't got shit up to tonight, it would be a really good time to just stay in. And we were just talking about this off camera. Beautiful day to go dog hunting. Dog the bounty hunter. There's some dogs.
Who goes dog hunting?
Dog hunting. Yep.
It's a beautiful day for the dogs to be barking, dude. That metaphor.
No,
doesn't
we're fucking hunting dogs with Dog the bounty hunter.
What's it? What's that old ass movie? Lassie, just taking Lassie out back. Fuck, put a bullet right in his head.
Well, that's what I'm hoping to do with these bets because I had a positive week. Nick, I think, had his
not first week in the hole in a long time.
Yep. So he doesn't like being there. He's trying to get out. Me, I'm riding the Georgian wave. I think I went 2-0 on my Georgians last week. Called them perfectly. Yeah. So I'm looking. I've already been
Fellow dog hunting Georgian Mike Vick.
Yeah, let's
over
Mike
here.
Vick dogs and beat the shit out of them because starting straight from the gun, I'm going a dog here. This one pains me because I love Gregor Gillespie. But I think ring rust is a thing, and Diego Ferreira is no slouch, man. I think he's one of these guys that he slowly has built over his career, and then you're like, damn, he was stringing together like a nice like 8-fight win streak or something ridiculous. And then lost to Beneil Dariush, which is like no slouch, a guy that he's lost before that just kind of has the edge on him in grappling
for what could be another title shot. So
exactly. So, and I think Gregor Gillespie, like, definitely great grappler, but that's like wrestling grappling. I think Diego Ferreira is like sneaky enough on the ground that he can get himself out of bad situations. And if they're on the feet, I'm definitely favoring Ferreira. And I think at plus 155, this is a very dangerous fight for a guy that we haven't seen since he got his head punted into the third row. So I think at plus value here, 155, I like it.
Yeah, I got it. So that fight's not on my card, just because I can't make up or down of it. But I didn't think if it was on your card that you would be betting that way.
Oh yeah, because I fucking stand for my wrestlers and I love Gillespie, but and it's not because of the knockout. It's not the recency bias. I think it's just Diego Ferreira gets slept on, and I know that because I bet against him like 5 straight times. Like, who the fuck is this guy? He doesn't even look like he's a nobody, and then he just wins. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah,
I like it.
Interesting pick. Okay, so I'm just gonna start right at the bottom. You mentioned him top of the show. Phil Hawes fighting Kyle Dauskas plus 110. I'm gonna make it a 1-unit play, mostly because gotta be honest, I did maybe 15 to 20 minutes of research on Dauskas. Have never watched a full one of his fights. And so I just ran through the highlight reel just to kind of, why is this guy a favorite? I thought we were going to get the Phil Dawes. His last win was not crazy eventful. A lot of just lay and pray wrestling. But I really thought that we were going to hit, the projection of prospect where it's just favored by 200,
Mhm.
favored by 300, favored by 250. And then all of a sudden, one of these lines, he's fighting someone and he's a minus 190 or minus 250 something favorite. And you just go, what? Okay, like why? Why
Yeah.
is that the case? Take the underdog. Not the case. Somehow we flip that. And this
It
is
doesn't make
just
sense.
basically the other guy, from what I've gathered, like also likes to grapple, a lot of darces, a lot of like slick on the mat, things like that, and a decent combination puncher up top, which I guess I could see that being a little problematic if Dawes gets tired. But it
It's
seems
Hawes,
like
but continue.
whatever for Hawes, same
You're
shit.
just mixing them
They,
both up. It's Dawkins and Hawes, and you're like, yeah, I'll just call
yeah,
it
right.
Hawes.
I'm just a hybrid. But guys, just do the eye test. Do
Bet
the
on
eye test.
Dawes.
Do the eye test on this one. Bet I'm a man, Phil Hawes. What the fact? If people are really thinking that this dude's just gonna get in the clinch and quick snap down Phil Hawes into a Darce, what?
The best defense to
Who
submission.
is it?
Phil
Stephen
Hawes
A.
knows the
Smith.
best defense,
Lay off the weed.
which is just be like super
A
fucking
freak
depth.
athlete.
Yeah, be freak
Yeah.
athlete. It's like, oh, day one, any jiu-jitsu coach will tell you that's the best defense to literally any submission. And
Yeah,
Phil Hawes has that.
Either be way bigger than the guy or be way more athletic than the guy. Those are the two number one defenses to any jiu-jitsu technique ever.
Or squat more.
So yeah, right. If the technique isn't working, in the words of the famous Danny Medell, if the technique is not working, you don't squat enough.
Yeah.
So in Phil Hawes, I would be willing to bet he squats enough.
Yes.
So case in point, it's going to be boring as shit. I really kind of imagine it going relatively similar to his last fight. But that said, these two clinch up and you got Dawkins trying to get it to the ground or Hawes trying to get it to the ground. I'm erring on the side of he was D1, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'm erring on the side of the D1 super athlete. Like that's just where my brain goes. So Phil Hawes underdog plus 110, no brainer line for a unit.
All right. Don't hate that pick at all. Moving up for me, this is a little closer toward the top. We're going Neil on Neil Crime here. I'm going Neil Magny because this is Neil Magny at plus 165. I bet if you look up Neil Magny's last 5 wins, they are hovering right around the plus 165, 180 range.
I got a great wins for you
in the minus column. As soon as it goes minus 0,
oh.
like 0 for 10. But if it's in that plus 150, plus 165, it lines up too well. You got to go Neil Magny here. That's basically my analysis. I think Jeff.
I think the only one that he was a favorite in was Rocco Martin.
Yeah,
I'm looking at his record now. But Johnny Hendricks, dog, I know that for a fact. I don't know who the fuck Craig White is either. I think he was probably a favorite for that.
Yeah.
But Carlos Condit, he was a dog for that. The Leech, definitely a dog. Robbie Lawler, definitely a dog. Yep.
This
favorite against Michael Chiesa, busted. Michael Chiesa beat his ass.
Yeah.
And if
sometimes
that's all
you just got to punch the numbers.
If that's all you got, I got some great stats for you.
Yeah. It's okay. We're right in
Neil
the
Magny's
spot.
Last hang on, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is perfect. Okay, in Neil Magny's last 10 fights, this has been the pattern. So he beats Johnny Hendricks. So win 1, immediately loses to RDA. Then beats Condit, beats Craig White, so wins 2, loses to Ponzinibbio. Then beats Li Jingling, Rocco Martin, Robbie Lawler, wins 3, then loses to Michael Chiesa. If pattern holds here, Neil Magny is about to go on a 4-fight win streak.
Yeah, he's about to just rattle some off before another heartbreaking win.
Against nobody's, because they're not going to give him anybody great because it's Neil Magny. But those are the kind of sabermetrics, as you know, on this show, that it will sucker me in every single time. Also, I mean, there is definitely, like, let's not ignore the fact that I got Neil Magny for a unit as well.
Oh, okay.
Let's not forget the fact that Neil Magny could get nuked in like 30 seconds. because that's a very Neil Magny thing to do. But I think since everyone's kind of expecting Neil Magny to get nuked, this because here's what I think is happening. Everyone, including the bookmakers, apparently think, okay, Neil Magny's path to victory is jab, front teep kick, and run away. And then when Jeff Neal gets close, clinch, get up against the fence, do a little Usman foot stomping, disengage, run away. And people are thinking, how long Neil Magny, not Kamaru Usman, circa 2019. So Neil Magny will eventually get caught and dropped. And when everybody assumes that Neil Magny is going to do something really bad, it's when Neil Magny flawlessly executes the jab, front kick, runaway game plan.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about honestly taking the over because Neil Magny's not putting Jeff Neal away. So I really thought about double dipping and going with the over, but that just seems silly. So I'm just
selfish.
gonna
Just
selfish, getting greedy.
Greedy.
Pigs get slaughtered, as they say.
Exactly. But yeah, and no, not to discredit Jeff Neal, it's just I feel like it's been so long since I've seen him because all he had was like the Wonder Boy fight, and I feel like he hadn't fought for a long time before that, and so it's hard to be like.
Been fucking busy working at Texas Roadhouse, dude.
I don't want to laugh, but it's always. I don't want to laugh, but it's always funny. He's like, man, one of our best fighters needs to be working at Texas Roadhouse because Dana White can't open up the wallet. He is good. It just after seeing the Wonder Boy fight, you're just like, man, if Magny could find a way to like use that range, Jeff Neal could have a lot of trouble trying to like land. And he didn't seem like he had a good answer against Wonder Boy, but there's a big gap, big Eddie Bravo gap between Wonder Boy striking and Neil Magny striking. So we'll see. But
it's just not going to look as pretty. You're not going to see these hard angles getting cut. Like the one, you're not going to see the beauty, the chef's kiss that comes with a Wonder Boy fight. You're going to be like, oh, he can't get inside of this.
Oh yeah. He's staying on the outside really good. And when he gets in there, maybe Magny sneaks in a takedown at the end of the round. And you're like, oh, well, Magny's putting together a nice, Jeff Neal's got to do something in the third round to steal this type of thing. Yeah. Man, it's going to be frustrating if it would be really frustrating. You got to sometimes hedge your emotions. And it's like, if you bet Jeff Neal at minus 190 and then Neil Magny just goes out there and just puts on an MMA just clinic on how to beat a guy better than you, you just want to pull your hair out. It's so frustrating. So you just can't allow yourself to get got like that. All right, moving on up, a 190 that I am willing to bet on. I'm going Donald Cerrone over Alex Morono. As much of a pick at plus 165 is Neil Magny, Donald Cerrone as just like a slight favorite against just a guy that he's better than, like a guy that he's more experienced than, a guy that he just has a better tool set than. These are the exact people that Donald Cerrone beats up on. He'll beat up on like 2 or 3 of these, then beat like a solid dude, and then get his ass kicked by like one of the guys that are actually elite. And this is why they keep in the UFC. Like, hey, we're gonna give a guy that isn't that athletic. Hey, he's got some knockouts. Maybe he could do something against Donald Cerrone. And Donald Cerrone's go out there and just leg kick the shit out of him and probably mix in some takedowns and just like show off. And I think when Cerrone does it,
it's a show out performance.
It is a show. And I think he does better as a front runner than he does when it's like, oh, this could be competitive. When it's like Cerrone, like the nerves play so much into it. And I think when he knows like, Cowboy, you are better than this guy at fighting, then he just goes out there and really.
There comes a time when you can't have. Oh Jesus! I just noticed my brightness is like a negative this entire time. There comes a time when you gotta get in the train. You can't be doing the Cody Garbrandt, Dominic Cruz, having fun in there all the time, and that's the only time that Donald Cerrone wins.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
When you have to get to like Cody Garbrandt, TJ Dillashaw for as long as those lasted before he got knocked out. That Donald Cerrone just oh, we're gonna be in a gunfight. This is not gonna be great.
Exactly, but yeah. So I think, and Alex Morono, like I actually do like how he fights, and I love to watch him fight because he's one of the only guys that make you think like, man, maybe I could be in there. Like I'm as athletic as that guy. Like he's not that good.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's asking a little much to be like, oh, but you could beat Cowboy now. I think that's kind of like beyond his ceiling. I think we know what we get with Alex Morono, and he's done a lot with a little, and I just don't think he can go much further. So yeah, and then
I kudos to you. I was too much of a pussy to put this fight on my card because this is like, for all the reasons you said, I almost, I'm not pulling the card. I'm not laying it down, but I almost think that this is a bet sadness fight.
yeah, because
Almost. It almost
if
qualifies because Cowboys getting so old, and if everything that you just said, right? We expect, okay, he was gonna fuck up Diego Sanchez anyway because that guy's off the reservation
yeah,
at this point. But he's getting so old that while yes, these are the people that you think, oh, Cowboys just gonna flex
yeah,
for on
these are
this
the
fight.
meatballs right down the plate, but he's starting to fucking get like
One
blown by these changeups.
Yeah, so well, not even a changeup, but sometimes it's just like, hey, we get it, man. A Cowboy's not hitting Aroldis Chapman anymore,
Yeah,
but so now sometimes some of these relief guys come in and they got 92 on the gun on the fastball, and it's like Cowboy got caught looking on the first pitch strike right there. He turns it around and ends up getting the triple, but it sometimes you just wonder like, ooh, so. I almost made the call bet on sadness for this one, but
true. Because like this will
don't
be the
I
first.
don't
I get what you're saying because this would be like whoa. Because usually he answers these calls like almost every time. I can't imagine the last time like a guy that wasn't like an up and comer came and like went through Donald Cerrone outside of like Darren Till, and that he wasn't just some random up and comer. And I don't
yeah,
think Morono's
well,
like up and comer. I just mean like a guy that's like worked his way up. So like the first time he does get beat by just like insert name of Alex Morono
like a
type
jobber.
fighter, yeah, a jobber, it's gonna be like, oh, this one really hurts because Donald Cerrone's better than that. Like we
The
know.
thing that gives me a lot of why I pulled the plug on the bet on sadness strategy, Alex Morono did just lose to Anthony Pettis like
True.
very recently.
Yeah, that was
So
yeah, that was not
so come on. I don't think Cowboys falling that far.
true. True. And then do you have one more before your
I've
lock?
got one more pre-lock.
Okay, well then you shoot, and then I'll go one more, and then my lock. Or yeah,
All right, we are sticking with dogs. I like a lot of dogs. The reason they're all one unit though is because there's none of the like well, use an example that was brought up on this show already. The Michael Chiesa versus Neil Magny was like the easiest fucking dog call of all time. Like that was an absolute no-brainer to bet on Michael Chiesa. I remember that fight. Like we cleaned house on that one. That was stupid if you were betting on Neil Magny in that fight. But these, I like a lot of them. Don't really love any of them. But I'm gonna do it again. I've been riding with her. I got fucked those 2 times, but the other,
it's
I
gonna piss
think
me
she's
off. I
got
know
me.
it.
Yep, she's got me 3-2, man, and I'm taking Angie Hill.
Oh, okay.
To
Okay, I
I
thought you were gonna say someone else that was about to fucking piss me off, but I can live with
no
Angie
no
Hill.
no no, I'm taking Angie Hill at plus 160. No, again, another unit. I am excited for this fight, like you said, but and this is the dog I would say I'm more nervous about this cashing than Neil Magny, I think, which is
Yeah,
fucking ass backwards of me to say. That goes against almost everything I believe in. But this is the type of fight that Angie Hill dominates the first round, wins the first 2.5 minutes of the second round, or even let's extrapolate out. She probably wins about 3.5 minutes of the second round, but ends up on her back, stapled to the floor
for the
for the
last
last
30.
minute and a half, drops, a little ambiguous second round. Third round, she just gets immediately taken down. And then it's, well, I won most of the second, and then the judges go split decision the other way. This fight has that written all over it.
It does.
That said, I'm taking Angie Hill because I got to be honest, history has, and I am very guilty of it. After the Mackenzie Dern fight, I I thought Amanda Hebos was okay. She's got this stinging jab, crisp 1-2. You get in close. She's whipping bitches to the ground with these judo throws. Like she's got everything but a double leg. And I hand up. I will admit when I'm wrong. I think history has not been too kind to her stand up.
No,
Like it is not, her stand up has not aged well.
no.
And
And
I think that Angie Hill does not hit as hard as Marina Rodriguez, but the one thing that sold me on Hill this fight was, so the stand up, I'm assuming Angie Hill is going to be better. Until she seems always at like a third round, she just goes into almost zero activity mode, which is always a bummer because you're like, just jab more and you'd win.
But like the move, that what pissed me off is like the movement is there, she's just not throwing. It's like she's still bouncing around. It's like you look like you want to do that, but then you're just not. You're not pulling the trigger. Right. It's so frustrating. You're screaming like throw.
So that's a big thing. But if we can do that and we could jab, cross, whatever, I really think she's gonna kind of win the stand up. And then the selling point for me, Amanda, all these wrestlers, Claudia, Carla Esparza, those are the two big ones, right? Or no, was it Carla Esparza? Why do I think that I have that wrong? That's who Angie Hill just got. Oh no, it was fucking Michelle Waterson.
Oh yeah,
my lock of the millennium. Yep, but even Michelle Waterson was just shooting doubles, right? Like she wasn't going for her patented stupid head and arm throw.
Mm-hmm.
But the Claudia and Michelle Waterson fight, both fights that you could argue Angie Hill won, they're shooting doubles, and Amanda Ribas is judo only, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see her shooting many great doubles. She's not taking down girls that have great wrestling, and I think Angie Hill's pretty competent in the clinch as far as that goes. Like she's done a lot better with just It's not something that you're going to see in a Kyle Dake how to defend takedowns video, but it's just whiz her really fucking hard and just post one, or if you can, both of your hands directly on their face and run. And that has worked pretty well for her. And I think that if she can do that, look, it's a 3-round fight. We just don't get launched to the moon on one of these step through throws, one of these hip tosses, or
just get up if you do. Like, don't get stapled to the mat.
Don't get ahead of yourself. Yeah. Let's focus one phase
one to the other.
Well, yeah, one phase at a time, buddy. Just don't get like a Soto Gari or whatever Danaher calls it to the fucking moon. And I think we're good. So I like Angie Hill at plus 160.
All right. Yeah, don't hate that there. Probably night of, I'll take that. Like, after seeing like Ribas in our last fight with Rodriguez, it's like, ooh, like I think Hill and Rodriguez, that'd be a very interesting fight to see, like stand-up wise. And
that would be if they both win, that would be I mean, it does nothing for either one in terms of like moving them up the ladder. I don't really think, because it's
from
an
excitement level. That's like, that would be beautiful to watch, because they're not sniffing a takedown. They're like, let's just fucking throw hands.
Just put boxing gloves on.
Yeah. So not that, like you said, the strength might be not there, or the power as much. But if Hill's on the same caliber and she's able to keep it on the feet, I definitely like her chances there. The route to victory is there, plus 160. And my last lock, this is what I thought you were gonna say. Like, she's burned me a couple times. I bet on her. I thought you were gonna bet on Waterson. Nope. I'm going Marina Rodriguez minus 220. It definitely fucking scares me that Marina Rodriguez can't fucking stuff a takedown to stay for life. That is very, very scary. But she also looked like a fucking monster against Ribas, who's no slouch. And like, there's no question in my mind if these
threw her out of a couple clinches.
Yeah, okay. But like, yeah. But what I'm saying, I think,
again, not a double.
Yeah, not a double. I think Michelle Waterson, she's got a very well-timed shot. I could see it like she gets in deep, and then Rodriguez just like recognizes that she's in deep and just falls. Like, just like, oh yeah, her hips are connected to mine. I'm just gonna go down, shoulders to the mat immediately. And I just don't want to think about that. I'm hoping she can't do enough damage over 5 rounds. I think Marina Rodriguez is one of those girls that tries to hurt you. And I know Michelle Waterson is tough, but I see like round 3, round 4, if Michelle Waterson hasn't tired her out by then, or just consistently taking her down, I envisioning like an ugly striking match where Rodriguez is putting it on. So I can maybe see Waterson trying to get to the ground, but I just don't necessarily. I want to say I don't see her holding her to the ground for 5 rounds straight, but then again, like if she was going to hold anyone down, it would be Marina Rodriguez. I just think her striking's too dangerous that she's going to be able to like keep the smaller fighter away. At least I would hope to, because that would, like, if we look at the more exciting routes, take my bet out of this. What do you want to see? Michelle Waterson take her down and kind of hold her down and pitter patter, or like Marina Rodriguez trying to knock her eye socket in, like, because she does try to do that. So I think he's got to go with a fun pick, minus 220. Don't mind taking it at minus 220 because I already have some other dogs in there, so evens it out.
Okay. So lock of the week time. All right, let me put your concerns to rest. I've got Marina Rodriguez lock of the week on a 4-unit play.
So no doubt.
Like I am, yeah. It's been a while since I dipped in my bag on a big play. I think I had a 3-uniter the other week, but 4 is as big as I've gone in a minute. And let me tell you what, I don't know if you are aware that this is at flyweight, which is 125. So Michelle Waterson is a natural atom weight, 105. Like she doesn't cut any weight to get to 115. Marina Rodriguez is she is like 3 or 4. I think the tail of the tape kind of sells it short, but I believe the boys over on Heavy Hand said like Marina Rodriguez is going to be 4 inches taller, and her wingspan, so not reach, but wingspan, is I think 7 to 8 inches wider than Michelle Waterson. Like they were talking about how they think that Marina Rodriguez at like hand punching range is at the outside of Michelle Waterson's kicking range.
It's like Marina Rodriguez's like elbow goes as far as Waterson's arms.
Yes, correct. Like she is going to be way bigger. So I mean, look, I know she is abysmal at fucking wrestling, abysmal, but the one thing that she's at least picking up is she gets so far as Whizzer really hard. When Whizzer really hard fails, she's on clear street, man. To
steal a phrase from you, Andy's home.
Right. Yeah, Andy's home. It's just she just goes completely limp. But I genuinely believe that the size difference in this one will, like, Michelle Waterson is going to have to take Marina Rodriguez down at least 5 times because she's got to take her down once every round. So it's got to be at least 5 times. I 100%, because like even in these fights that Rodriguez loses, when she gets stapled to the mat, she gets up. She's not tired. She's just sitting there. She just doesn't know how to get up.
Yeah.
What Michelle Waterson is going to have to, what she does though is she tries to throw elbows and shit from the bottom. It's just unfortunately real tough gambit to try to win a fight that way. But I think that she's going to be kind of, this is a fight where I could see the person on the bottom doing more damage than the person on top. 100%.
Or at least
and so
more than like that she's not getting so fucked. Like it Maria Rodriguez, as long as she's not getting dominated on the bottom, is like a win. So she's able to
right. And I not that I think that that's going to win her the fight. If she spends the whole fight on bottom, she'll lose. But what I do think is it's not going to be just lay in side control for Michelle Waterson. I don't think that's going to be, it's going to be very active. And the point is, as it gets more and more and more active, rounds 3, 4, 5, it becomes way harder to take her down just because you're spending so much energy holding her down. And all she's doing is just fucking laying there because she has no idea how to get up. And she's just going to be just throwing short elbows. Then once you get on the feet, like you said, it's a mean striking affair. If Marina stuffs 1 to 2 takedowns, this is going to look exactly like Joanna and Michelle Waterson.
Yes. Also,
that's like exactly what it's going to look like.
To be noted, yeah. Now that you mentioned that, it's going to look like just the frame wise, like the style matchup. And I don't know if there's besides like Caitlin Chokagian, I'm not saying pillow hands, like just throwing with intent. It almost seems like Michelle Waterson is never throwing with any intent. Like it is strictly point scoring. And Marina Rodriguez is not throwing the hand just to land it on you. She wants to fucking make you feel it. So I think it's going to be an interesting, like, dynamic to see, like, just how these two fight each other. I think it'll be a good fight. I hope Marina pulls it out. Yeah, I mean, for the sake of you're coming back strong with 4-unit play. I fucking like to see that. It makes me feel good about my pick. But on to my lock of the week. You already had it. I'm going for 3 units. Phil Hawes plus 110. The guy was going the trajectory that you were saying, where it was just like, man, this guy's minus 210. This guy's minus 250. Like, what the fuck? And then he had one decision. literally just one decision where it like he looked kind of like, oh, he didn't nuke the guy and he couldn't just like out athlete him right away and he got tired. And everyone's like, oh, this guy sucks. Underdog now. And I'm like, dude, this guy was like on a main event. Like he's beating some good people. And I think they're giving him a bounce back fight. I was trying to look like you. Like, why is this guy favored? Why is Dawkins favored? And I couldn't figure it out. The guy is just as experienced. I think that's the one knock you
They
can
have
get
the
on Phil
exact
Hawes.
same amount of fights, I think.
Yeah, I think Hawes has more. I think he has one more. One more loss as well, but you know, like that when it's one loss versus two losses, who gives a fuck? So it's a head scratcher. And at even if he does lose, like you're not gonna see. There's two trajectories here. He could win, and next thing you know, he's back in the minus 250 range, and you'll be like, see, you got to get him while he can at plus 110. And I have a feeling that that's what's gonna happen. Like Phil Hawes is gonna rack up a couple more wins, and people will be like, oh yeah, this guy could be a real title contender. And you're not going to be able to bet on him because he's going to be too expensive. And you're like, the guy's got 12 fights. So get him while he's cheap, plus 110, hammer him home. Like it's you're giving up, you're getting plus $10. Like it's free money. You got to put it.
Yeah.
As well as the TKO line. So I'm taking the TKO line plus 210 just because this guy was nuking everyone in the first round. And one decision, I think people forget, he knows how to knock people out. Maybe this Dawkins guy is.
What is it? Plus 210?
Yeah, plus 210.
I don't hate that.
Yeah, I'm like, because if he wins, he's more likely than not probably going to knock him out. So both positive. Because I think if I remember correctly, Phil Hawes was getting to the point where it was like he was minus like 250, and then
minus 250 in the fight before the last one.
Yeah, and then the knockout line was like minus 150, and it's like,
yeah, well, he was one of those.
It's like, oh, because that's all he's doing right now. So when you could still get it at plus 210, take it. So those are my two picks. Yeah, so we got a loaded slate for you. There was also some I was looking at MVP as well. I see he's fighting.
I gotta be honest, man. Again, I just pussied out. Too much of a pussy to pull the trigger on the Rumble Johnson TKO.
I don't like the Rumble Johnson though, because like, dude, who knows how he
right?
fucking looks.
And Sergio Pettis plus 160.
I know
Archuleta is one of the better guys over there, but don't you think like Sergio Pettis, of all people, he hasn't shown the Bellator slump when he's gone over there and this guy just stopped being good, I guess, now that he fights for Bellator. It's like that he is the opposite of that.
This is giving too much respect to Bellator. I hate to say it, because there's no point. I can't point to anything that would be like, oh yeah, Sergio Pettis should be the definitive dog here, other than the fact that you're like, oh no, Juan Archuleta is the real deal. I think it should be way closer. So I was eyeing that up too. Yeah, like I said, the Anthony Johnson, a little scary. Minus 460. That has upset alert kind of written all over it. But I imagine this Jose Augusto guy, he's maybe thrown on the gloves twice in his life. Because
I think that he probably did, they just picked someone that they just went to the purchase list for the tickets.
Yeah,
exactly. Said, hey, congratulations. Not only do you get to come to the fights, but you get to fight Anthony Rumble Johnson.
Yeah.
This guy might show up and be a jock.
$5,000. It's like, okay, sure. Also, Patricky Pitbull at minus 280. Like, I mean, he's gonna win.
Yeah, he should. The other one on that card, as a man of integrity, I won't add it to my card now. But now that I'm looking at like Lorenz Larkin over Rafael Cavaro at only minus 210, that seems criminal.
Yeah, but then again, that's how fucking Bellator gets you. They think like all these lines, like, man, how could this is
how Bellator gets you is with this shit. Patchy Mix minus 1,000, Logan Storley minus 1,300, and you're like, yeah, what could go wrong? I'll put those two in a parlay, and then and then Patchy Mix gets starched by Albert Morales, and then your whole day goes to shit.
This is a relatively close card for Bellator. Yeah, but then you still see your minus 600.
This is one of the closest cards.
Yeah, right. Normally it's like this PFL card with minus 2,100 Kayla Harrison favorites, and Muhammad Usman minus 550, who literally is built like Francis Ngannou. It's unreal.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. the PFL card has 6 over minus 450 favorites. That's absurd.
That's fighting, baby. That's fighting.
And then
And
that's the fight biz.
That's the fight business, baby. And that's our show. Tail our picks. We have been hot. Like, we'll be posting. We're gonna try to post picks more. We're gonna post clips. We're gonna post updates of where we're at. So stay tuned for those. You can find me at Broleva MMA.
Unless we lose, unless we
lose, then we're racing them for
then
me.
I won't be posted shit.
Yeah, while we're winning.
Oh yeah, Nick died, tragic car accident.
Exactly. Yep, you can find Nick before he dies in the tragic car accident at _a guy.
No, not gonna happen. Rodriguez is gonna. She might just fucking put Waterson away in 2 rounds. I was looking at the knockout line there too, but
yeah, I might. I mean, we'll be peeping it up night of. That's for sure. But yeah, until then, you can find us at our normal spots. You can find us Twitter, Instagram at The Rest Round. Until next week, guys. Peace out, y'all.